What would you do if you lost one or two of your biggest clients, or if you lost your main source of work? What would you do in that situation? I know in terms of, for some, they'd literally be in sheer panic and think, oh my God, how am I actually ever going to survive this, right? And this is something I kind of have been listening to recently, just in terms of conversations I've had with clients and reading that I've been doing and listening to podcasts and all of that sort of stuff. Because one of the things, for example, Russell Brunson has done is he's given a book of basically, if you literally had to start from nothing, what would you do in the first 30 days based on your knowledge? And he's done a book where he's got some of his clients to actually explain exactly the tactics they would use if they had to start from scratch. And I think this is something that is really interesting at the moment, because I'm a firm believer that as a business owner, you have to be able to be open to change and to adapt. And the ways of which you have maybe been working over the last few years, 5 years, 10 years, has had to evolve. And if you had to start all over again, what would you do? Would you do things differently? Would you do things the same way? And something that has been really interesting is, I think in terms of business, we need to spread our risk. Because if we did have a situation, a catastrophic situation, losing a main client, losing your main, for example, your referrer for work, how would you kind of cope with that? And I actually think the best way in which you can deal with those situations is preventative rather than cure, right? And what I'm saying to you is spread your risk, right? Don't rely on one key client. Have a multitude of clients so that if you lost one, it's not the end of the world. If you lost two, it's not the end of the world. If you lost five, it's not the end of the world, right? Because ultimately, businesses generally change, and whether you're dealing with consumers or whether you are dealing with other business owners, people's needs change. And therefore, you might have anticipated a relationship with that particular client for 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. Or it could be a simple situation where actually it's the other way around, where you're wanting to get rid of clients. And I've had that recently, where I've had discussions where what we've started to do with a number of my clients is we've really honed in on working out their ideal client and their target audience. And what they're then starting to realize is that some of the clients that they're working with don't actually fit into that category. And the reason why they don't fit in that category is they've attracted them to them, but because they haven't done this previous work, their message has then obviously not been particularly clear because they haven't done that strategy work. And they're thinking about it when they're thinking about their ideal client, and they're thinking about the things that they want from their ideal client, and the various characteristics, and they're suddenly realizing that some of their clients don't fit into that category. What do you do? Because it's all well and good to turn around and say, we'll just get rid of them. Well, unfortunately, that isn't always that practical, because if you're a small business, they could be quite a large proportion of your income. So what you then need to do is you need to then focus on attracting more of the right type of client, so that you can then politely turn around and say to the people or the businesses that are not your ideal client, look, it's whether it's coming to the end of their contract or whatever, you ultimately are not going to renew with them, or you'll turn around and say that your offering has changed, etc., etc. There are various ways in which you can exit them out. But it's important that ultimately, as a business owner, you focus on the things that need to be focused on, and that you aren't distracted away from what is actually important. And when you are trying to survive and even ideally thrive in an environment that at this moment in time is wobbly, and that you don't know what is around the corner. As I've said in previous videos, it's so important to have those foundations in place so that if something like losing a key client happens, it doesn't break your business. And ultimately, we don't know what the next 12 months is going to have in store for us, but I do believe that there will be plenty of opportunity if you are open to it. So the best thing you can possibly do is protect your business. I had a client recently tell me that they've lost their business listing in Google. And that's had a real impact on their business because they're no longer on the first page. They're not on the map. They've lost their reviews, and in the industry that they're in, this is a key time of year for them. And my first question was, well, in that instance, what other marketing techniques are you using to get people through the door? And I'm a firm believer that if you have a multiple levels of marketing, that if one falls down, it doesn't collapse your whole marketing strategy or collapse your business, right? And that's where, for me, in all aspects of your business, you need to spread that risk. So you spread it based on, in terms of your clients, you're having, you don't spread yourself too thinly that you can't service your clients, but you have enough clients that if one or a few fall off, that that you can still meet all of your liabilities. And in marketing, if something falls down, right, if you remember, I can't remember when it was, but at some point this year, Instagram went down. And there was a massive big thing. Facebook went down, right? Well, if those sorts of things happen, you need to be able to deal with that and be in a situation where you have other avenues, right? So it's so important that you spread your risk in your business, particularly given the current economic climate. So the question I have for you is, do you believe that everything happens for a reason? Because you may think, well, what does that then have to do with spreading risk? Well, because I'm a firm believer that things do happen for a reason. And the thing is sometimes we really wish we knew what that reason was, and we don't, but I do believe it does. So if you do lose a key client, or you do lose something in terms of a marketing, there's going to be something that you can learn from that experience, and it will teach you to do things differently, right? And that's the thing where in business, we are thrown challenge after challenge. In life, we are thrown challenge after challenge. And in my view, it's about how we actually respond to that, not react, how we respond to that, and how we retain in control of our emotions in relation to that situation. It defines on how we move forward. So if you spread your risk, and if something bad, or a challenge comes along, but you've spread that risk, it means then you just can pivot, you can adapt, right? So things do happen for a reason, things do change. And I do think what businesses have to be prepared for now more than ever is that things will happen that you don't expect. And you need to be prepared to be able to pivot and adjust when those things happen. So if you are interested in being able to pivot and change your business, or if something has happened within your business that you're not sure how to pivot or change, or that you are worrying in terms of what the next 12 months will have in store for your business, then I think my new online program is going to be something that will absolutely be a game changer for your business, because it will help you pivot, it will help you change, it will help you adapt, and it will help ensure that you are recession proof. So if you want to hear more information about it, All you literally just have to do is put online in the comments and we can have a chat about it. So I hope you found some of the things that I've shared with you today. It's been a bit of an odd mix, but hopefully you've still benefited. But just be open to change, be open to pivot, be open to adjust, and make sure that you balance your risk. Don't focus on one stream of marketing. Don't focus on one client only. Spread that risk so that you can protect your business. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon. And obviously, as Fitz has just appeared, he also wishes you a fantastic afternoon. So take care, everyone, and I shall see you all very soon.